So somebody sent me a blank, undisclosed hard drive, and what did I do? What anybody would do, plug it in your computer, obviously. No, they sent me an email first. This company had said they have this gaming hard drive. My understanding is very much like in this Kin Hank, these people making these drives are a similar company. And you could buy this on Amazon, and it is a fully loaded 5 terabyte hard drive with not only every system from Atari up to GameCube, but it also has PC games on it as well, as you saw earlier in the earlier video. So it's quite extensive, and a lot of the games worked out of the box with the Xbox 360 controller. They even sell it with a controller. So I'm just going to do what I do, which is check it out. It's definitely, as you see in this video, it's not the best option out there, but for something you can buy on Amazon, it's kind of intriguing. You can see just the GameCube collection alone here. But what we'll do is we'll check out the game collections on the 3 different operating systems. Yes, 3, as Retrobat, Launchbox, and Play Night. And we'll check out all 3, the themes, the games. Let's go. Let's do it. Literally all this is the box to the external hard drive enclosure. So they're just buying these external hard drive enclosures, throwing in a hard drive inside, and loading it with ROMs. A 5 terabyte, that's actually pretty big, Barracuda drive. All right, here we go. We have our arcade vertical games. These are games that you can play vertically, shoot 'em ups, things like that. You have 629 of those. 3DO, you got 138. Amstrad CPC, almost 3,000. GX 4025, Apple II 470, Apple II GS, 148. Arcade, only 11. This is not the right arcade. This is the arcade right here, MAME. So this is going to be all your arcade games. You can absolutely jump around pages, things like that. But they're probably going to have 18 plus games in there, mature games in there, duplicates, things like that. Light gun games. There's a ton of arcade dump. They're probably also not going to necessarily be optimized either, but there's a lot of arcade games. Atari 2600, 600, Atari 800, 2700 almost, 5200. So pretty much all the games. So 95, 854 here, 7865, Atari Lynx 82, and you even have Jaguar here. You go in and you have all your games here. This is cool and fun to see. I've always liked 3DO, Jaguar, Sega Saturn, and then not on this build, but later we'll get into the GameCube. And I like those. I mean, obviously Nintendo 64 is awesome, but like you can find builds with those all the time. Kind of the ones that a lot of people skip over are the 3DO, the Sega Saturn, and then the GameCube. GameCube because they're being so big. Some other systems too, like a Thomas Wave, Naomi, you don't see all the time. But more and more common. WonderSwan 114, WonderSwan Color 91, CPS 1, 2, and 3 system, all the games there. Those are going to be your Street Fighter, stuff like that, arcade games. Coleco 146, Commodore 64, 6,500 games, Jesus. Commodore Amiga 500, 2600, Amiga CD 144, Commodore CD TV 35, Odyssey 2 113, Intellivision 149, Vectrex 46, Sam Coupe, that is 31. Coupe or Coupe? All right, MS-DOS 3, and they're all the shareware games here. I'm not clicking into every single game. I mean, there's just so many here, and especially for these smaller systems, it's really easy to get a ROM really easily. PC Engine 296, CD-ROM 155. So it's going to have a lot of your games on here anyways. SuperGraphics 5, PCFX 50, Game & Watch 59, Nintendo. So 1,800 games, a ton of games. And yes, it will have your Super Mario, all that stuff. These companies don't care about Nintendo. They just throw everything on here no matter what. Family Computer Disk System 209, Game Boy 1175, Super Nintendo 760. And again, it's going to have all of them. I already checked. It has Super Mario All-Star. It has Super Mario RPG. It has Super Mario Kart. All that stuff is on there. Satellaview 123, Virtual Boy 33. Game Boy Color, yeah, it has Marios. It has the Donkey Kongs. It has the Pokemons. They're all going to be there. Nintendo 64 DD. Got 6 games here. If you're wondering here what we're looking at on this screen, work in progress. These themes that they have here, they have a bunch of different pre-installed themes. They're not all set up for the amount of systems that are on here. That's kind of a lame about this thing, but that's what you get. Game Boy Advance, 1,800, pretty much all of them. Look at that. Even when you click in, you'll see all the 2-in-1 games. So lots of duplicates because of the 2-in-1 and the video games. excuse me, when I say video games, I mean games that were literally videos, right? They're movies, movie games. Pokemon Mini 43, Nintendo DS 3800. And again, Nintendo DS, geez, there's so many bad games for this system, like the 2-in-1s, all those dog games, trivia games, just a lot of just junk in there, but they're still going to have your Mario Kart, stuff like that. Nintendo 3DS 21, Super NES MSU. These have enhanced music. I highly recommend checking them out. A lot of your favorite games. Open Board, Beats of Rage, 280 games there. Thomas Wave, 26 games. And it's going to run great on a computer if you have a decent computer. SG 1000, 99. Sega Master System, 442. Mega Drive. So all your Game Gear, 406. Mega CD. So this is your Japanese Mega CD. Sega Model 2, I just want to jump down to that they do have Sega 32X, and I thought I saw another Sega CD somewhere. Okay, never mind. That's your Sega CD. I thought I saw something else. What did I see that's confusing me? I don't know. Okay, so this is going to be your Sega CD, and then you have Sega Model 2. So this is going to be your House of the Dead. I think Virtual Cop 1 and 2. So good light gun games on here as well. And Sega 32X, 37, pretty much all of them. Model 3. There's some cool games on here. These were really fun arcade games, and those are all set up for you, like the Lost World Jurassic Park, fun light gun game right there. Naomi, 109 games. And remember, there's a whole separate Dreamcast section, too, that we covered in the video as well. Sharp, 68,847. Sinclair ZX81, 70. ZX Spectrum, 5,000. Neo Geo 151, that's pretty much all the Neo Geo games. Neo Geo CD 104, it's pretty much all of those. Neo Geo Pocket Color, Supervision, and then you have some collections here as well. If you want to get rid of some of these collections, you can hit start on your controller, go over to game collection settings. Game collection settings. You can change what systems you want displayed. You can turn some systems off. You're not actually deleting the ROMs or the systems. You're just not showing them in the display here. And so this is fun. You could change the game settings, the ROM settings, the filters, things like that. Retrobat is great for those reasons. Let's not give credit to this company though. They're not the ones doing it. A lot of the heavy lifting here was in RetroArch and in the in the actual front end here, Retrobat and Emulation Station. All right, so I started the video out talking about Emulation Station and the games there, and now you're looking at the GameCube list here, and later in the video, actually, you'll see that the GameCube section is, close to a terabyte. The PlayStation 2 collection is like a terabyte. Anyways, for some reason, they have Launchbox running the more advanced systems, like the 2000s and older systems, the PlayStation 2, the PSP. Anyways, while I'm talking here, we're going to go through all these games. So keep an eye on the screen if you want to see what games are included. But I just want to talk a little bit about the setup of the system. Now, in Launchbox, you can either run regular Launchbox, which is free, or you can then buy a license. The license is not too expensive. I highly recommend it. It does not come with a free license, which I'm happy to see that. Like, you should totally support Launchbox. But I moved over my Launchbox license, and then I was able to access Big Box. You're able to download like additional themes. There's lots of features that are unlocked for you. And if you're wondering what the hell is Launchbox, it's the screen you're looking at right now. It organizes all the games and does all the settings and such. And Big Box, there's a the way Emulation Station, what we were looking at earlier, it looks more like that, right? It's a more full screen, full immersed experience. I like this though, the way we're looking at these games now though, because you're able to see so many more games in a single shot. So you're able to see the game list better. Now, so there you see also the GameCube, great collection. I think now we're in Nintendo. And so Nintendo's one of those systems where they added it to both Emulation Station. Now, you can absolutely guide Launchbox to the ROM folders in Emulation Station and then populate this whole Launchbox build with all the games. That's absolutely possible. And then vice versa, you can get Emulation Station to run all these games that we're looking at right now, like Nintendo 64, etc. It's kind of weird that they have half and half, but that should be an ongoing theme for this particular build. And that's exactly what you're buying in this thing. I'm going to talk about it at the end, but you're going to get a lot of duplicates. You're going to get ROMs from all over the world, and they're not going to be sorted correctly. You might get settings that are incorrectly done. You're going to have to remap your controller occasionally. You're going to have to mess with some settings. So it's not perfect. But I do want to also say that I understand that the people that are interested in something like this don't want to go to the hassle, especially as Nintendo's shut down a lot of ROM sites and stuff. They don't want to go through the hassle of, finding a good website and where to get stuff and download it and unrar it and put it with the right core and download the right core. Most people watching this, or if you're still watching it, you're a fan of emulation and this. But there's quite a big market for, case in point, Nintendo Minis, right? SNES Mini, NES Mini. People love the plug and play. One, you could argue that they like the collectibles as well, but they love plug and play. Now, I'm just chatting as we go through the games list here. PlayStation is also another system. There's a ton of games for, so it's kind of nice to have. But as you see here, there's artwork missing. It doesn't have all the artwork. You would think that for the price they're charging for this hard drive that they would do all that, but unfortunately not. And so you'll notice also I want to bring up the fact that there's a third operating system here or front end. So you have Emulation Station, RetroBat, and then you're going to have this Launchbox. And then they have the newer games like Cuphead and Crysis and stuff like that. And that actually runs on something called Play Night. And that's another front end. So there's 3 applications on this build that'll all run different games. So here you go. You got PlayStation 3. And you can play light gun games and Guitar Hero games on PlayStation 3. You could technically hook up a guitar via USB or something like that and set it up through the emulator. And same with the light gun. It is possible. Easy? No. Possible? Yes. Not super hard, but not super easy either. So as I'm scrolling through these games, shout out to Quad Damage. He helped me record this video. And you have a bunch of PSP. Look at that. PSP, you got a mixture of minis and with actual games. It doesn't look that great, but there's a lot of games here. There's a lot of nice looking games. I think we look at the actual megabytes later. There's like almost 600 megabytes or more of games here. Need for Speed is lots of fun. It's a nice set here. Not as many images missing on this one. If you really like, I didn't get a game for you. I know that the person who sent me this sent me another YouTube video with a bunch of the game lists. So the game lists are out there if you need to look for a specific game. Super Nintendo, this is going to be the same games that were on the emulation state, the RetroBat build, as well. All right, and then last but not least, this is Play Night. These are the PC games that would be included. You can access them in the folder called Play Night on the hard drive. You double click it, it loads up this, and I did test one of the games and it did work. So pretty wild that they also have this included as well. I like this theme. I don't like this page on the theme, but once you're in the games, it's not bad. Once you're in this game list here, it's not bad. But you can move systems this way too if you want. This one's nice. So I did want to show you that, wow, they really did fill this thing up. 4.5 terabytes worth of games. And if you're like me and the first thing you click is Emulation Station, thinking that everything's going to be on there, you would be mistaken. They give you a little bit of instructions here about what you need to install first. Make sure you're on a 64-bit operating system. And then make sure you open up RetroBat this way as a non-admin account. Now, mine booted right up, because I've done builds like this before. But something you need to know just right off the bat is that there's Launchbox and Emulation Station. And Launchbox, when you load it, going to have your PlayStation 2, your PlayStation, all your newer games, 2000s and newer. Launchbox going to be running those. Where Emulation Station is going to be running all your 1980s, 1990s games. So it's unfortunate that it's on 2 different platforms. I imagine it has to do with the emulator cores, even though you should be able to do it the other way around. But here you got Nintendo 64, you got Nintendo, regular Nintendo, it looks like. And then you have Sega Dreamcast, PS1, PS2, PSP. And we're going to go through those later in this video. All right, there you go. There's all your games here. Even as Techno Parrot? No Techno Parrot. They're just pre-populated. So you got some of your ROMs stored here in the Launchbox. You got Dreamcast, GameCube. Now the GameCube is amazing. I mean, if anyone's going to buy this hard drive, it's right here for this. I mean, that's quite a download. That's almost 700 gigs worth of GameCube. Same with the PlayStation 2's got to be pretty big. 1 terabyte of PS2 games. Let's look at all those. Boom. A lot of games. So back to ROMs here. Same with PSP. This has got to be big here as well. 200 gigs. PlayStation, Sega Saturn. 250 gigs. Dreamcast has got to be pretty big as well at 220 gigs. Okay. So you got the Launchbox ROMs, and you got RetroBat ROMs, and then you're going to have all your other systems. You do have a Thomas Wave. You have some nice arcade games. Pretty big sets here, and a good Naomi set there as well. So for that alone, 4 terabytes is pretty impressive. All right, so there you have it. This thing is loaded, and it works, and it says what it was going to deliver. I have to give it credit for that. Now the downsides are pretty obvious, right? A lot of duplicates, a lot of bloating, a lot of things that aren't quite set up. It's not super polished. That being said, are you just getting ripped off? Are they not delivering you anything? No, I wouldn't say so. I'd say you're getting quite a few things. As far as actual hardware you're getting, remember you're just getting that hard drive. Go look up what a 5 terabyte hard drive is, and then you can see the difference. But I understand a lot of people have slow download speeds, so imagine how much bandwidth you're selling, especially if you have your broadband provider charges you overage if you go over a certain data cap. So there's value in everything. It's not the best, but it's also not awful bad. So, you make up your own mind. I was hoping to just showcase the whole entire thing so you can see what kind of emulation station RetroBat experience, what kind of Launchbox experience, and then what kind of Play Night experience and everything else. I obviously did not have enough time to test all the games, so you'll probably find some more things that are broken or aren't working, but you also saw that the majority of the stuff was there, the majority. So that's what I think. Let me know what you all think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.